My position is okay. Shall I go this way rather than
I,
this way?
I think it's fine. If you can come closer to me, it's better. Yeah, perfect. Almost. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ربنا افرغ علينا صبرا وثبت أقدامنا وانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. ربنا افرغ علينا صبرا وتوفنا مسلمين. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. We are still studying the chapter Falaq, daybreak, and we started discussing the verse 4 last week, and we spent whole class for it because we saw that it feels it includes a lot. You know, I said, what does I take refuge with the evil of those who blow on knots? We discussed that from only one aspect, which was the essential and foundation of everything, as far as this knots are concerned. And somehow, not much blowing on knots. We covered a little bit, but at the personal level, within ourselves, maybe, we said if we have weaknesses within ourselves, if we have complications that we are not settled down about any matter that we are dealing with, if we don't have a right attitude to the creation and the attitude of other people, then we have complexities, either different, maybe superiority complex, inferiority complex, or not solved the problems, some weak points within ourselves, weak points, then it is a way of giving opportunity to others to blow on them. It means exploit our weaknesses, exploit our not being settled down in within ourselves about any matter that we are sure or we are not sure. If we are sure, no one can exploit it because I know which direction I will take. But if I'm not sure, then people exploit it. So one note is from inside ourselves, and the maybe mostly related to our relationship with our other people. If we think that, for example, my boss is the source of my income, he's paying me every month. So my business, my job, my profession is the source of my income. Then it is a way of giving the opportunity to the boss to exploit my weak point and became a slave of his desires and caprices. That's what he blows on the knot, which is my not being clear about the reality and attributing the source of my nourishment or my financial matter or worldly benefits to the source itself rather than, or to the company or whatever that I'm earning my bread money, my income, then of course it is, I open myself for exploitation of the other things. The only other things mean other creatures. Only one thing that if I realize that it is not my boss, but it is the organizer of this universe and also my life. It is the real provider of my sustenance. Then if boss gets on my weak point, I wouldn't accept it. Then I wouldn't let the boss play with me because of the knot in myself. It was unsolved, unsettled decisions within me, gives the opportunity to other things to exploit me. For example, if I say I am indebted to the state, my social security, my health benefits, then of course state imposes itself on you, not necessarily in the bad way, but usually they enslave us because of our or the citizens' weak points, that they think that state is the ultimate source of my life, my security, maybe my future in this world. But if we understand that no, the source of everything is in the hand of the one who organized the order of the universe, then I can comfortably submit myself to him. And this is not a not anymore, which is not a weak point, which is my reality. So when I accept my reality, the one who created my reality or created me with my reality, which need an absolute source to trust. Then I found the absolute source, who is the owner of the order of the universe. So I am comfortable now with him. Is he going to exploit me? See, the owner of the universe is exploiting us, exploiting our weakness. That's we are weak compared to the owner of the universe, of course. I am totally dependent on his will. He brought me into existence. See, look at the universe, whether he is exploiting it or not, if I acknowledge his authority over me. Or listen to myself when I admit that my life, my existence, my security for within this world and eternally, what I expect to have is in his hand. And is he exploiting my realization that he is the authority over my existence, my being, a human being? Is he exploiting it? Look at. Are you going to lose anything? Your freedom, your security, by submitting yourself to the owner of the universe, to your creator? Lose it. For example, physically, is there any oppression on us when we accept that the order of the universe pressurizing me? Or when we think about our feelings, when I lay my trust in my creator, the owner of the universe, do I feel that I am depressed? I am, how is the word? I am hopeless. I lose my hope. No, because compare it. If you trust in the state, it's a huge organization, isn't it? Very powerful. So can the state guarantee your future life? No. He can only give me what you need until you die. After that, Now, even in America, it is not cheap for your funeral. You have to pay a lot. Those people behind you have to take care of your. They don't give you even a land to be buried in freely. No, you have to pay. Yep. So I am in the eye of the state worthy only as long as I work for it. If you don't work for it, what are you? What are you in the eye of the state? A burden on it, and of course, it uses your weak points. But when you trust in your creator and saying that I am weak before you only, what happens? He says, okay, I gave you the feelings only as the owner of the universe, I can satisfy it. No one else can satisfy it. Keep in touch with me. That is how my creation tells me that if I direct or my expectations to the order of the universe, it seems to be that the owner of the universe never fails to satisfy it because he is the provider of everything. So you don't feel depressed because you trusted your being to the owner of the universe. Do you feel depressed? Because only the one who created you with the needs can satisfy your needs. Because it is trusting your existence to its source, its creator. It means you are asking or expecting this source to satisfy you. And you can ask, can it? Yes, state can take care of your family members. Your company can take care of you until you work for it or until you die. As long as you work for it or as you die. Otherwise, no hope. How about your human expectations? To be satisfied, to feel secure in your existence? Impossible. No one can give you security in your existence. No one. Existence, don't forget this word. No one can give guarantee. No one can secure to satisfy your or to secure your existence. Okay? That's why we said internal satisfaction is possible only when you have no complexes, no knots, unsolved, unanswered questions within yourself. You must have serenity, peace in your mind, in your feelings. There should be no contradiction. If you say, the company will take care of me, even it is providing social security for me or benefits for me, okay, for how long? Until you die. But your feelings want security existing forever. No one can satisfy. Only the one who gave your feeling to you. When you find it, you have no knot. So the creator do not blow on it and exploit it. As soon as you find your creator, then you are comfortable because there is no exploitation. The more you trust him, the more secure you feel in your existence. Does it make sense? Okay.
So everything that you've said up until this point makes sense. I'm just thinking about experiencing the things that we dislike. When it comes to that, and being mindful of that, the source behind the creation of what I'm disliking is also the same creator. Doesn't I guess where does that fall? Does that not fall under the category of exploitation? Not exploitation, maybe, because of course it's dependent on my understanding. But the fact that I dislike something and yet it is being introduced to me, at surface level, it seems that it's not desired.
Now, most of the things, even to me, I can say, but it may open up any discussion. Most of the things in the in our life that we dislike depends or derives from our perspective, which has complex in it. What do I mean by? Because I want to tie this point to the subject that we are dealing with. So most of them, for example, what do I dislike? The most death. Yeah, I don't like to die. I try to protect myself at every moment. I'm very careful. I'm sure you are too. And we don't like death. Is it really bad? So look at your life. Look at your existence. You are getting old and old and old. I'm not, you are. So old and old and old. And you say, come on, this life is not bearable anymore. Take me away. So it is the way that the creation tells you, I am preparing you from babyhood, from very first day of birth, taking care of you. Look, all along your life, I am providing everything what you need. You need air, you need light, you need physical things, and also enjoyment, taste, beauty, yeah, friendship with other people, thinking and guidance that you will think on the right way without falling into contradictions. They are all here. Now it is taken care of. Now the time comes that you get ready to wrap up your luggage. Journey will start into another creation. At first, if I label death as end of my existence, of course, I will see it, a bad thing is created for me. But is it so? Is it a bad thing? Because of my understanding, of death to be bad, end of my existence, I have to question whether the death is the end of my existence or a transition from one stage of existence into another stage of existence. For example, when I was in the womb of my mother, I didn't know what will happen to me, did I? You?
No.
No, no. But look, in the womb, I was growing. Yeah, I thought this is my home. But after certain time, no, it is not home. It's not my home. I'm taken away and put into another life, completely different. Ah, it wasn't a home for me. I understand that as far as my human expectations are concerned, this world is exactly like the womb of my mother. I feel suffocated in this world. Why? I don't know. Personally, I really feel I have to get out of this world. I have to be born into another world because my feelings, my expectations cannot squeeze in it. It goes into eternity. There is no eternity in this world. So I really never describe or define death as something, end of something at all. Why? I want to born into another world. That's the desire in me, where there should be no restrictions, nothing that apparently it is possible for me to define as bad. Yeah, because it is only apparently possible. I may interpret it in a bad way, like the death. So if the most serious scenario for us is the death, you can make an analogy as far as the other sides of our expectations, health. Now, we know that is in our nature. We can learn the truth, the reality, in two ways. One is when we are satisfied with anything. The simplest example is when you eat something that you like, it is satisfying. You feel comfortable. How about hunger? For example, if you have a family life that you feel comfortable, relaxed, you are comfortable. When your parents die, you lose something. And of course, you are not comfortable. You feel sad. Why? Because you lost something. Now, hunger is the simplest example. You can extend it to many other aspects of human being. So we can learn through hunger which one is the better way of learning for us as we are created. Through being hungry, or through being satisfied with nice food. Which one helps you best to learn your reality, who you are? Which one? Sorry? No, which one is better? Teaching. Hunger. Sorry? So teaching, training. This is a training center. Training center. Yeah, if you are training for something, for example, to gain and to learn a profession, or typical example is the soldier example. If he is not subject to any difficulty, when he needs it, can he protect himself? No. He has to go through this training in order to prepare himself for a better future for him. Training is the same again. So hunger it makes me realize that, no, look, my existence, my life, my health, my satisfaction all depend on somebody else's provision. Everything, somebody else. And I understand who is taking care of me. Who is? As far as realizing my reality, that I am totally dependent on the one who creates and gives existence to the whole universe, including me in it. That is the best way of learning what my reality is, so that I will search for the truth, for the reality as a satisfactory answer. So when I am satisfied, of course it is a means of learning again, but it may not give me a vivid picture of my reality, saying that I am totally dependent. If there was no hunger, being satisfied would bring you no message as far as your understanding of reality is concerned. Hunger is going to be taken, satisfaction is going to be taken for granted, that where I am, I enjoy everything. And also may end up with, I am self-sufficient. Look, when I am full, I'm not looking for any opportunity to get satisfaction. No, I am comfortable now. And it blocks the way to question our reality. Complete? Yeah, yours.
When we discuss from the evil what he has created, we did say that sometimes God uses us, or our Creator uses us to teach someone else something. Would you consider that as exploitation in some way?
So I got the last phrase, last word. Will I consider that it is an exploitation?
I think,
so what was the beginning?
Yeah, I think what she's trying to ask is, if the Creator uses us to teach someone else a lesson, isn't that exploitation of me? Right?
How if he uses me for the benefit of other people? Okay. Now, is it exploitation, or is it a means of rewarding you? Why? Because if I am suffering from an illness, that everybody looks at me and takes pity on me, and they say, "Oh, thank God, I don't have it." No, for the benefit of others, I am given some sort of, let's say, disability, so that the people will make a comparison between their health and my position. No, it's an exploitation, or it is an employment, so that you need to be compensated for it. That's why if there was no eternal life, if death is the end of our existence at all, that will be an unfair treatment, and that will be just exploiting my being a slave of the one who, if you like, in the hands of the one who created me, I am helpless. Now, this would be true if only there is no life after death. It means without extending my existence, our existence, into eternity, and all these the existence, all types of existence, are in the hands of my Creator, definitely I understand that however he treats me as his work, For example, this is the machine, but this unconscious being, and just an example to make the comparison only at this level now. The engineer of this machine made something wrong in it in order to use it in his teaching, in his class, to teach people what's wrong with this program. Please find out. Now, he's the engineer of the computer. He's using it by making his program some flaw in it, and using it in the class. Okay? As a means of teaching. So if the computer had consciousness like human being, yes, because it's an example. It doesn't. But if he had, do you think he will say, look, you are exploiting me, or you are just employing me to teach, so the people will come and will come to the class, learn how to repair me and other people like me. So it is a means of training. It's a means of educating. Yes, you are used, not somebody else, but employed in this matter as a tool of teaching. Then what the engineer does, yeah, you are doing best, I will correct you. This is. But if he doesn't do that, I mean, it is not conscious. It's not conscious. But definitely, if there was no eternal life where this kind of apparent within the conditions of this world injustices going to be compensated, repaired. And it says, definitely, I will pay you endless times more than what you deserve, because I used you as a teaching tool for my other conscious beings. So if we say that, look, why I am chosen to be a tool of teaching, what else do you want? Somebody else, he will say the same thing. So what is the point that we should understand? It is the decision. Everything is the decision of the Creator directly, unless it is not the result of my free choice. For example, disabled people from birth, is it the result of their free choice?
No.
Or there is a war and you are in trouble. You didn't agree with the war. If you agreed with the war, yeah, you will be responsible for it. You didn't agree with it. You tried your best to stop it, but no one listened to you, which is the case now. So only the weapon industry owners decide. They don't ask you, even they don't ask anybody else. Even the government, they don't ask. They produce and manipulate everything accordingly. So it is not the result of my free choice at all. And I am damaged. Definitely, that will be the source of or reason for the recompense. Otherwise, first, my existence will be limited with this world, and my understanding of the existence limited within this world is wrong anyways. So unless I extend it into eternal life, definitely this suffering within this world, just in time you came, we were going to jump into your subject. So, yeah. So in the eternal life, he promises in various ways. One way, if I acknowledge my Creator, I don't exist by myself. If I acknowledge the source of my being disabled, yeah, my being used as a tool of teaching for others is His will, not my will. I didn't choose it. It is my comparison. Everybody was like me. No one will complain about it. For example, let's say we have 2 arms. Can anybody complain that why don't we have 4 arms? We have 2 eyes in front of us, not 2 eyes or 1 eye behind. Does anybody complain that why don't we have an eye behind me so that I will feel secure? No, because we don't have the opportunity to make comparisons. That's why, as a result of comparisons, we feel privileged, but not privileged. What's the word? Unprivileged, maybe. We feel not privileged. Others are privileged in their existence as a result of comparison. Not essentially in my existence. We have to understand this one as well. It means That's a very legitimate question, and thank you for bringing up this question to the class now. One, I have to understand that every disadvantages that I see in my existence is the result of my comparison with others. Yeah? But this reason for this comparison may not be correct, but making the comparison is legitimate. Do you understand? We make the comparison. That's legitimate. We cannot say, don't make comparisons. No, we make the comparison. But reason for the comparison doesn't have a substantial base for it. That's number one that we have to bear in mind. The second is, if the existence pertains only to the life of this world, yes, that is a legitimate complaint to the Creator. That why did you create me in a disadvantageous position, this privileged position? I am inevitably making the comparisons and feel unhappy about my existence. Correct. It would be correct if only there was no life after death. The life is only the life of this world. But my feelings witness that this world cannot be the only existence. And my experience through my life in this world teaches me that I am given existence at various stages, and without asking me what do you want, I am given. Take your life from the beginning to death. You are given existence at various stages. Nothing depends on you as far as the existence of anything is concerned. We have to know that whatever exists is not from me. Why? I cannot create anything. I cannot give existence to anything. I can only use what is already created. That's why the first reason for my comparison, my situation with others as a disadvantaged person in its creation, in his or her creation, then it is the result of again comparison. If there was nothing to compare, for example, my favorite animal is frog. They love them. They walk, they swim, they jump, and everything they do. How are they called? But something familiar? No. Fabulous, amphibian, and
Amphibian.
and in amphibians. So they do everything. So, like some birds, they fly, they walk, they swim, stay in the water. Everything is adjusted accordingly. Yeah. So frog looks like not a beautiful animal as compared to other animals. So do you think that the frog is complaining by looking at another beautiful animal saying that, why did you create me like this? Why didn't you make me as beautiful as other animals? No, because it doesn't have the opportunity to make comparison. Otherwise it would. But we are given the ability to make comparisons. That's why making the comparison is legitimate, but coming to the conclusion that my being created in a disadvantageous position and deciding that my creator is not being just to me is not legitimate. So depends on our interpretation. So far, I think I have to move to another aspect of this knots, complexes. Now, in our practical life, since our friend here, yeah, can you give us your experience as an advertiser, what do you use while you are preparing the advertise so that you will be successful in your profession? What do you use? Can you speak loudly and share your experience as a professional advertiser?
So I'm a graphic designer right now. So I took a step away from the messages. But what you do is, if you want to persuade someone to buy something, you convince them that they need something first. And then you offer the solution. And whatever the solution is your product. But you have to make them feel like they need something first. And there's a lot of different ways to do that.
So make them feel that they need. But do they know that they don't really need it? So can you make an advertisement about something that people definitely need it?
Yeah, you could.
For example.
So for example, people need food.
Yeah.
You can advertise a certain kind of food.
But certain kind of.
Certain-
Yeah, certain company. Yeah?
Yeah.
For example, everybody needs water, isn't it?
Yeah.
But can you make an advertisement for a water company, water bottling, or okay? But for we are living by the river, and the river water is absolutely clean, or by the spring, the water comes there. Can you sell me water? So say, look, don't get out of your house. I will bring it to you in a package. Again, artificial need, not real need.
Most of what is advertised are things you don't need. You really don't.
So,
Absolutely right. It's more along the lines of there's something else that is satisfying.
so when I moved to a big city in the place where I was born, and there was corner shops when I grew up as a young boy. In the corner shops, the shopkeeper knew that everybody will come first to buy bread, and then sugar, flour, and those people who are addicted to cigarette. So they were available just next to you. So that when you say, can I have 2 loaves of bread? So here you are. So he wouldn't go to the end of the big companies, markets, or I don't know. Sorry?
I do.
Yeah. So I moved to a big city, and there were huge, they used to call them supermarkets. So I go there to buy bread. Where the bread is located? Just by the cashier at the door. Where is it? In the very, very back of the company. Why?
So when you're going, oh, maybe I need this. Put it in your bag.
So
Maybe I need
you
that.
don't need the bread to be advertised. I am going to have it anyways, especially if there is one kind of bread brand. So it means your company is blowing on the weak points of the people. If the people make their mind up that I need this, and I am going to get this only with what I need, and I'm not open to cheating, then do you think the advertisement works for them? If the people are determined and resolute that they are not going to buy anything which they don't need.
No.
So advertisement companies or the business will collapse and close down. So we understand that they are this one example. this kind of activities or the products of the civilization exploits and blows on our knots, which are not settled within ourselves. We have weak personalities. We are not decisive, then resolute. I need this, and that's it. I'm not going to buy anything or get anything which is not essential for my needs. So I'm not going to be open to cheating. So what the companies cannot do, if there is no knot within me, complexities, unsettlements, not being clear about what I am, what is the purpose of my life, then they can easily blow on it and exploit it, right? So you are really benefiting from being from the people's being not settled down about their reality. So if they have complexes, some people definitely will exploit it. If they have weak points, some people definitely will exploit it. We discussed before you came, the others were here, other friends were here. So only the creator do not exploit my weak point. Rewards it. When I acknowledge my weak point, he rewards it. But weak point as far as my position before him is concerned, not as far as my position before another creature. No, it means I am submitting my existence to other creatures, and other creatures definitely will exploit me. Yeah, if they have free will. If they don't have free will, for example, if I think that, for example, the means, if I think that that the earth is the supplier of my needs. Earth doesn't exploit me, but I feel exploited before Earth because I feel obliged to be thankful, to be obedient to the Earth itself, although Earth doesn't care really. But I will be enslaving myself to the Earth. So I will thank Earth, saying that Mother Nature is taking care of me, etc. But Mother Nature doesn't take care of you when you die. They consume you and finish you away. Now we understand that. So we have to have a strong personality. In order to have a strong personality, we have to settle down about our reality. So be careful. If you don't want to be exploited by anything, you have to work on yourself. What my existence depends on. So accordingly, I will define myself, my existence. So look for the source of your existence. Another point that we are nowadays being manipulated, exploited, or they blow on us is what? Main thing that really exploit our feelings, our understandings, and everything as far as the civilization of this age is concerned. What is the civilization? Really exploits blows on my notes, exploits my weak points, weaknesses.
Social media.
In this,
Social media.
exactly. The first answer was the best answer. Thank you. Media. If you sit in front of it, definitely it shapes your mind. But no, I sit in front of it, but I'm not going to let it shape my mind. Impossible. Because from the very beginning, you lost the case. Why? Sitting in front of it shows the need for it. That's it. You are lost. So any kind of media, news, but a private, or they are all really political. We know that. And to shape your mind, to shape your fear, they exploit your fear. By why do media usually give bad news, not good news? Why? For example, if there is an accident, make a news. A severe accident. Well, always there is an accident, but the severe one, they make a news out of it. Why? To, if you like, in inverted commas, unrealistic fear, to create unrealistic fear, imaginary fear in you that you definitely need protection. Protection. And this protection is from where? From state power, police power, army power, or insurance. Definitely. So what you feel now, after seeing the horrible event, you say, oh, if I am there, what should I do? Right? All imaginary, it may happen, but all these imaginary things are introduced to people so that you may probably have it. So protect yourself. We think that we are protecting ourselves by insuring ourselves or whatever we want to be insured about. But why do you think insurance companies are working and running this business? Do you think they do it for the sake of God? Why do you think? You pay, and they gather $100, example, of course, not 100 trillion, and then spend half of it. The other half remains with them. It means the cost of my security is ultimately more than what I pay. Exploitation, weak point. That's especially imposing the state power, any state power, any state, any institution, the administrative institution, uses the weak point of the people by producing the best possible things that may happen to them as far as their concept of understanding of bad thing is concerned. So they exploit it in order to impose themselves on you. Yeah. Why do you think we people cannot have any administration without state power on us? So we cannot even differentiate, be careful here, between administration and state, between governing and social institution, or independent from the government, what exists now, state and authority. Governing is not the authority. Governing, giving service. That's why, but do you know this difference? Have you noticed that? Between state and government? Now, because we know in Islamic administration, there is no state. What do they have in the Islamic administration? Ideally, there is no Islamic administration existing nowadays because the state system is universal now all over the world. Why? State is another power, as a kind of the result of people's imagination, over controls the people. Administration or the governing is supposed to be They can exploit it because human beings are open to the everything. But governing is taking care of the needs of the society at a society level. So protect the needy ones to be protected. So prevent those aggressive people ready to exploit other people, prevent them. So this is governing. But state is another institution about the government. Because state says, this is my limit. Yeah. I have to protect here within the limit of my boundaries, not outside. I don't care. I have to go on other people in order to get some benefit, in order to satisfy the interest of my state. I can declare a war to take it over other places, to control other places, so exploit it, use them. That is state. But government is, whatever the society is, this society is administered at the social level by the people who are employed to administer it, govern the society, rather than being a power over them. Do you understand the difference? So in Islamic state or Islamic government or administration, there is no limit for the citizenship. There is no boundary. There is no any protection that you cannot import your product into my country because I have to develop within my own country. No, you cannot do that. People are free. They can get in, they can go out. So the Quran is very interesting. Says, if anybody you see that, I mean, the language is polytheist. It means not monotheist, believing in the one thing like you do, wants to seek refuge with you, which is called in the Quranic language istijara. So wants to seek refuge with you, give them protection. But this is an atheist. I am a Muslim or believer. He doesn't believe. Give them protection. Why? You cannot put a boundary that nobody can enter into where the believing people are living. They have to come. They have to listen. They have to hear. They have to observe what the believing people are doing there, if they want to, if they prefer. Yeah, if they want to go out, can you say that, no, you cannot go out until, except with my permission, according to the same Quran or the verse again? No. If they want to go back to their own country, or to their not country, there is no such thing in Islamic establishment, to a place there where they feel secure. So take them, put them there where they feel secure for themselves. But let's say a member of the community who is, let's say, atheist now, wants to leave Islamic administration. Can anybody prevent it? No, without my visa, without my passport, you can go out of the boundary. Impossible. Can you get out of the country without having an authorized document? Can you get into another country without having an authorized document? What are they? So the state has to make its existence legitimate in the eyes of the people when the people have weak points. They don't really know what their existence really means. So these weak points are called notes in the language of the Quran. وَمِنْ شَرِّ النَّفَّاثَاتِ فِي الْعُقَدِ. That's the verse 4. Yeah? So we have to have many aspects in order to understand this word, two words now, blowing on knots. نَفَّاثَاتِ فِي الْعُقَدِ. But if I don't have knot and knot or knots, they have nothing to blow on. Everything is or depends on me. That's why we have to try as much as possible not to have any complexes, inferiority, superiority, whatever. Accept your reality as you are. Right? Okay. Do you have the last one? The verse I sent? The last one? This verse. Yeah, it is there.
Yes.
So let's come into this verse. Oh, yeah. We have some time. Not much, but some time. Inshallah. So, who is going to read it? Now, this Arabic students, come on, if you want. Sorry?
You have time for a question?
Sorry?
Do you have time for a question? Yeah.
For the previous part of our discussion?
The word knots. Why specifically knots was used as opposed to
Awkward. Complex, not straight. Not straight. For example, do you have a string? Yeah, the string. So if you make a knot, what happens? There's something weird in the straightness of the string. Right? So it, first of all, it spoils the straightness of the string. The secondly, it makes entangled in one way or another, so that you have to deal with to get it out of. So you are in trouble, it means. Yeah, it means unsettled. If you like, spiritual being. Unsettled, something weak, something not clear, something which is not straight. So, uqad, well, we don't discuss this kind of verses on a how do you say, cultural base, saying that something happened and some people can't blow on it. And these are all symbolic teaching. But in fact, we have to understand what are they blowing, as far as I am concerned. So if I am straight, the advertisement companies cannot do anything. You understand? So they cannot blow. So everything that is possible in this world that may blow on our knots, if there was no knot in our thinking, understanding, realization, they cannot blow on it. They cannot blow on straight string. That's why we have to straighten it. Try not to have knots. Now, that is what I understood, or from my readings and reflections on the verse. So this one, who's going to read? Bismillah. Yeah.
ولا تكونوا كالذين نسوا الله فنساهم.
Yeah.
She did study Arabic.
Sorry?
She did study Arabic. She just missed it.
Okay, doesn't matter. I mean, I wanted to welcome.
I was getting defensive of her.
Yeah. I wanted to welcome her just by joining in the discussion. So to express that we are pleased to see her among us. So it is the first time you are coming to this discussion, to this class. So, okay, but who's going to read it? English. Slowly, and a bit loudly as much as possible.
Be not like those who are oblivious of God, and whom he therefore causes to be oblivious of what is good for their own selves.
Now, if we are not very careful about the structure of the verse, we may see that there is a contradiction in meaning. So I am advised not to be like those people who are oblivious of God. Of course, we will discuss what God is. That is different. And whom that person, God himself, causes that person to be oblivious of his own self. Now, God is causing me to be oblivious of my own self. That's an extremely superficial reading. When we are a little bit careful, no. If I am oblivious of my reality, God is replaced with the word reality. Why did I replace it with the word? Because in the teachings of the Quran, God represents my source of existence. So my reality is given to me by my source of existence. So if I realize who I am, what I am, what do I end up with? An idea. If I realize what I am, what do I conclude at the end of this realization?
You're the creation.
You are created. Yeah? Your reality is you are given existence. So automatically, as soon as you say that I am given existence, or make it simple, created, if you realize this, that's your reality, can you quarrel other way around? That you are not created. You existed by yourself, for example. No, you are given existence. Now, as soon as you say that, look at passive voice verb, created, it automatically acknowledges what? The agent. Automatically. So don't use the word God, the creator. Use the word your reality, which is I am created. You see the language shift? So when the Quran, the revelation speaks, God speaks in order to teach me. Yeah, my creator speaks to me what? Teach me who I am. So when he says, we have to be very careful how to read the Quran, okay, those Arabic students. You have to learn Arabic, while you are learning Arabic, to learn how to read the Quran. When God says, I created you, what does it mean? Who will explain? What is he teaching me? Sorry?
That I am created.
Not I have a creator. No, it is the conclusion. I am created. Do you understand? If you don't acknowledge or start from the fact that you are created, can you ever go and reach the idea that you have a creator? Is it possible? Is it possible? It is so simple, isn't it? Don't think of God. Don't think of the Quran or anything, religion or anything. Think of your reality, which is created. Think of your reality. What we do in our language, we ignore createdness of the universe. We ignore the created of everything within the universe, including myself, including my senses. We start teaching people, submit yourself to God. Why? Which is stupid to me. Without establishing the foundations, saying that, look, you have to acknowledge God. Well, I am not aware that I'm created. You didn't teach me to start with. But if I accept God, automatically I will accept my createdness. Not because I realized my fact, my reality that I am created, because there is a God, oh, he must be my creator. But have you established that you are created? So you can base your reasoning on a very real reason, so that you will be convinced that as soon as you say, I am created, it automatically says, you must have a creator. You don't say it. You must have a creator. If you are created, you must have a creator.
Can I share something that actually from my time away? So apparently in the that when you're studying the language and when you're studying a verb, um, the doer of the verb always has to come after the verb. So you can't say that someone did an action, that there's an agent before the verb actually happens, or the action actually takes place. So and that's a rule of the language. So in the same case, first you see the action, and then you ask yourself, who is the doer?
Yeah. So as soon as you use the word, semantically, when you say in Arabic, khalaqa, or in English, creates, somebody creates, don't use past tense or something, creates, automatically it means what? Look at the action and look for the agent. Sujet. It was fine. So look at the sujet now. What is the agent of this action? So in reality, without looking at the action, the acts in front of us that we experience here within my own capacity, I don't look for the agent. That's why copying from the Quran and teaching people from the Quran, not really converting into our real life, is not mentioning khalaqa, but saying huwa. Who is that? Where did he get it? God. Now, this language claims that I am the word of the creator and my name is God, okay, in English. So whoever is oblivious of God, it means whoever is oblivious of his createdness and he needs an agent to explain who gave this createdness to him. It means who is the agent of the act of creation, right? Automatically. So we can easily say that whoever is oblivious of his reality, that he is a created being. Now, oblivious of it. Now, automatically what happens? He therefore causes to be oblivious of his own self. Yeah? فَأَنْسَاهُمْ أَنفُسَهُمْ. His own self. Yeah? That is why he really has no other way, no other possibility to understand his own reality, his own identity, who I am. Impossible. If you don't question and if you don't really go back to the beginning of the reflections, you never become aware of your reality. So this is the order of the universe. That's why the scripture says God makes you be oblivious of yourself. It means your reality. That's how you are created. Yeah. If you don't realize that, for example, you are living in a family and you are a child, yeah. If you don't accept your parents, can you say that I am a child of parents? Is it possible? There's no parents. If you don't accept it. So in order to accept that you have parents, you have to question the source of your being in this family. Because they were the people who took care of you as a baby in the family. You identify them as your parents. That's why you identify them as your parents. If you just come into a family and say, you are my parents, can they accept it? Is realistic? No, you didn't experience that you are brought up, taken care of by these people. So it is within the order of the universe that if we don't acknowledge our reality, then I can never ever become of what I am and what is expected of me, what I need, etc. Nothing. So they can play with me. So this verse, I found that deeply explains how we fall into knots. Do you understand? That is the order of the universe. That is how the creation is taking place in the universe. How do we form or develop knots within our personalities, within ourselves? Because of being oblivious of my reality. Do you see how the verses should be read? Do you notice how the verses should be read? From, if you like, just opposite direction of what the words say. Just opposite direction. Because we have to know that in order to be able to understand the speech of the Creator, I have to understand many factors. One of them is, what does this text claims to be? One, it claims to be the speech of your Creator. Now, why does my Creator speak to me? Why does He speak to me? In order to collect taxes so that you are a citizen, you have to pay taxes. Or why does He speak to me? To help me realize my reality. It's very simple. So, in order to help me realize my reality, my Creator must speak to me in terms of my conditions within the universe. Do you understand that? Within the universe. So, if God says, if you forget me, I will forget yourself, your own self, who you are. It means be careful, the addressee, the listener, the reader, be careful. If you understand this, the order of the universe is such that it will teach you that you have lost yourself. Do you understand? So what I have to do in order to understand the message of this speech? Who will tell me what I have to do?
Get to know myself.
Sorry?
Get to know myself.
Yeah. So read the text from my creator's perspective. He's speaking to me, but understand the text from
My perspective.
Ariana.
my perspective. My perspective as a human being. So can I go into somewhere in order to get to know God? Can I?
No.
So what is my reality? Here. Where is God? I don't know. I don't know his residence address, nothing. Yeah? So how can I know him? He speaks to me, says, you have to know me. Come on, it's impossible. I cannot really see you. I cannot really get in contact with you here. You have to understand that you are a created being and you have a creator. In order to get this message, what I have to do, I have to transfer God's perspective into my perspective within my own given capacity. That's a very essential principle in order to communicate with the speech of my creator. If you miss this point, you start imitating the message, not understanding and benefiting it, but imitating. Imitation never gives you any benefit. You cheat yourself. So when God says, if you forget me, it means, how do I forget you, my creator? Ask. Ask yourself, because he's speaking to you within your capacity according to the conditions that he created you in. Understand? So look at yourself, you look at your environment, how I can forget my creator. How can I do that? It is only possible if I don't examine the reality of the existence here. So that I will say, in order to get to know the creator, there is only one way for me, not two ways. One way for me, not to follow culture, not to imitate anything. There is only one way. If the creator tells me that you should not forget me, yeah, be oblivious of God means forget about God. Yeah, not be aware of that you have a creator. So you shouldn't do that, because the verse says, be not like those people who are oblivious of their creator God. So I shouldn't be like this. How can I not be like them? It must be possible for me. How can I do it? When you really say that within my own life conditions or the conditions of my own existence, how can I not forget my creator? Realistically speaking, not imaginary, to make dhikr of God, Allah, 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 so that you will not forget God. It's a tongue says. You have to do something. What do you have to do? Investigate the reality of the things around you. Do they really need a creator who is not of the same, who is the creator of this? So in order to get to know, for example, the simple example, if the engineer of this machine tells me that you have to get to know me, Yeah. Where is engineer? I don't know. Is it possible for me to get to know? No, I don't know. I just got the message. You have to get to know me, who I am. How can I know who the engineer of this machine is? Which kind of person he is? How can I know it?
By using the machine.
By studying the machine, investigating which kind of qualities it has. So these qualities, if it is possible that the machine produces these qualities by itself or given, the engineer must be the one who has given these qualities to the machine. So the qualities, by getting to know the qualities of the machine, you get to know the qualities of its maker. So the more you know about the machine, the better you know about the engineer of the machine. That's the only way. Yeah. So we have to understand that if we forget our reality, the order of the universe is set in such a way that the orderer of the universe creates that I forget my own reality. That's the inevitable result of my forgetfulness of my reality. That is how the knots within ourselves have been developed, not being aware of my reality. The order says, okay, if you are not aware of your reality, you will be a plaything in the hands of the other things that you have to enslave yourself to them. If you don't realize. This is what the verse says. I said this verse really explains what notes are. It mentioned in the verse that we have been studying. Notes. And if the notes are there in me, then exploitation, I am open to the exploitation. They come and blow on it. Everything. Blow on it. Exploit it. Use me. Is it clear? Shall we stop here? Do you have any questions? It has been more than at the limit. So, okay.
I want to know, you say the creator must speak to me. He must
So he must what?
speak to me to help me realize my reality.
Yes, he must speak to me.
So I understand that it's helpful, but is it not sufficient for the universe, the creation alone, to teach me? Why do I need the speech of God? And why do you use the word must speak to me?
From my perspective, must be. I definitely need it. The one who created me, first of all, let's clear this point out. He created me with the need, to get to learn how to learn I am in need of learning how I should learn my reality. So he created me with this need. He must provide the answer because he created me with the need, right? So whatever you need must be, you are created with this need, must be provided with the answer by the one who created you with the need. So from your perspective, he must. So why do I need the creator to speak and introduce himself to me? Since I have to realize my reality, first of all, within the conditions of myself. So I have to realize that when I study any part of the universe, I become aware that these things are given existence. They cannot exist by themselves. So I need the answer. Answer what? I must be given existence by what? Now, I search within the universe. Is there any agent that I can attribute the existence of anything to. So what I say at the end, I say, yeah, they need to be given existence, but where? Maybe beyond the sky, maybe somewhere hidden, hiding itself. I don't know. So he must speak to me, introduce himself that, look, you cannot find the source of existence of the universe, existence of anything within the universe. Within the universe, and I am the one who gave existence, I exist in an absolute form. It's ahad. It means I am not of the nature of the universe. So you can only conclude that there must be a creator, not within the universe, not of the nature of the universe. So it is an assuring. We have to go out.
I'm sorry, the building
Yes.
is closed, everyone does have to leave.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. We are concluding. So that's why we must, yeah, or he must speak to me. Otherwise, he gave me the need, but he didn't provide the answer to the need. It will be his contradiction. His contradiction, not my contradiction. It will be a contradictory thing to conclude in this way. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. Wa akhiru da'wahum and alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Hurmat as-sirr, Surah al-Fatiha.